Hello, listeners. This is Lee Price,
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
and you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Magical from Eden Hazard. Kai Havertz in the Champions League final. Ivanovic! In the middle, it's just behind him. But it's tapped in by Hakim Ziyech. Matic with the ball driver. Matic takes the net off.
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode,
And with the first pick of the greatest goals we have seen live, At the Bridge Pod select. Oh, welcome back everyone to another episode of At the Bridge Pod. I'm joined in a virtual room. Will be filled with lions. We've got Ollie. He's here. And
I'm here.
Chris will be joining shortly. It is the Friday show. And Ollie, I get to ask you, I love this question. You love this question.
Oh, yeah.
This
is my favourite question.
What are you looking forward to this weekend?
I'm visiting my dad again this weekend.
Okay.
Spending some time with some family, getting a few things done. Of course, we're trying to sort a few things out because, 2 weeks from now, is wedding bells. It's the big day. So,
Damn right.
we're getting closer now. And, it's going to be good. What about you, Mikey? What are you
Well,
looking forward to?
Look, in terms of football, there's only one. Literally, there is one match on my look at the fixtures, listeners, and you just go, these none of these are exciting. Your blood pressure won't go up much. It's just great. Shrug for everything. But one match is on my radar, and that is the FA Cup showdown between United and Chelsea Sunday. Here's to hoping that Lauren James sort of carries that international form into the club game. Hopefully. But away from the football pitch, something that's just as exciting for me is I'm eagerly anticipating whipping up some lemon crumble muffins tomorrow morning.
Oh, very nice.
That I'll give credit. That is not my own idea. It all started with a suggestion from a friend of mine, and the moment they just described the idea, I was like, sold. So hopefully I'll turn it into reality. It's delicious. I'm
For
optimistic.
those of you who don't know, Mikey is an excellent baker. And so
Well, thank you. I try.
He's constantly flooding the group chat that we have with things that I wish I could eat and will never be able to.
Well, thank you. Oh, Chris has joined. Chris, what are you looking forward to
Chris
this
is here.
weekend? Crumble muffins?
Hello. Well, yeah, I mean, if you want to send me some, that would be great. This weekend. What am I looking forward to? That is a good question. It's just a football weekend. I mean, it's just basic for me, really. Just a simple football weekend. That's all I've got going on, I think.
Oh, I was really hoping you were not going to say something along the lines of like football is in the games that are on. Because apart from United and Chelsea being the FA Cup semi-final, the rest of them I still think are a bit bland this weekend. No games stand out for me that are live.
To be honest with you, I think that's just the Premier League now, isn't it? I don't really look forward to most Premier League games that are on the telly now.
A lot of games really bore me at the moment.
They are boring.
You heard it here first. Super League needs to be sorted out soon.
Oh, behave.
On that note, news time. Oh, let's hit that. Oh, I've already hit that news. Anyway, it's that time of the week where we check out the news you may have missed in that elevator Chelsea news. Chelsea have inquired about Ruben Amorim. However, he has a verbal agreement in principle with Liverpool. And then he announced that he does not have that verbal agreement with Liverpool. He's not spoke to them. Chelsea are interested in Sport Recif's 17-year-old right-back Pedro Lima and have met his agent to register an interest. Sources have said that Mauricio Pochettino is safe despite the draw at Bramall Lane. It's understood that the owners believe in the potential of the team and they're confident they will qualify for Europe even if it's a Conference League. And finally, the Premier League are going to introduce semi-automated offsides from next season. Yay! But oh wait, hold up! Not straight away. It's going to be after the first international break. So I love that. I was like, that can't cool. Imagine there's not going to be any sort of incident which would require that software or whatever technology in the first part of the season. Of course not. No.
You just it's
something.
going to happen. It's going to happen to a couple of teams. It is where people are going to get the questionable offside calls between that in that area.
Oh yes, yeah. Of course.
It's just going to be the worst. It's going to be the absolute worst. It's going to be so difficult.
With them, like, wouldn't it have just been easier just to change the rule? I mean,
no, that's too easy.
They've got to spend so much money on this technology because they want attackers to be millimeters in line with that last defender, even though it gains no advantage. If you made the law better, you wouldn't need the technology.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely a technological solution to a problem that is totally avoidable.
Yeah, it's just stupid. Like the offside rule is the biggest rule in football that I think needs changing. It has to be gaining a clear advantage. Your shoulder being ahead of the defender is not gaining an advantage.
No, I've always ranted on about that. I mean, it's just total rubbish how it all works with, but it is what it is. And for some reason, I just typed in how much will the offsides semi-automated offside technology cost next season. And it's just come up $10.99 a month. No, that's actually for the TV subscription, but it doesn't state that till you click it. It just literally says the Premier League's total cost. You click it, $10.99 a month, and then it goes, this is for ESPN. I was like,
Flipping out for that, I might get semi-automated offsides just in my house.
Yeah.
Oh man. There is something I would like to touch on. That was the latest development surrounding the search for Emma Hayes' replacement as the next manager of the greatest team in WSL history. According to the Telegraph, Sport, and ESPN, their sources, they could exclusively reveal that the current Lyon manager, Sonia Bompastor, how did I get that wrong twice in a row? Sonia Bompastor. There we go. Will make the switch from the French giants of Lyon to West London after this season, along with her assistant, Camille Abili. So the compensation has apparently been agreed for an early release of her current contract, which was to run till next year. Hey, I'm absolutely bloody thrilled by this news. Because look, replacing Emma Hayes is going to be a daunting task. It is, but this is a necessary step forward now because we know she's leaving. We needed that succession plan. And for me, we've secured arguably the best candidate in the women's game. You know, her successful tenure at Lyon speaks volumes about her capabilities, especially being the only female manager as well to clinch the Women's Champions League title in the past 15 years. And for me, that achievement aligns perfectly with Chelsea's aspirations. We're eager to add that trophy to our collection. And I'm sure we will delve into a comprehensive breakdown of what Sonia's style of play is and what she could bring to Chelsea in the future.
Much to the chagrin of about 40% of you who listen to this show.
Yeah. We've seen the analytics and we've seen.
Right. They're not even listening,
stamps.
are they? They've skipped.
No, they don't know. You've missed out. Hey, but for now, how do you feel about this development? How do we feel about it?
I mean, she's a world-class coach, isn't she? What more can you ask for? It seems that everything that the ownership have currently not done correctly in the men's team, they've corrected it with doing it in the women's team, buying one of, like breaking the transfer record for a striker, and then now getting having a clear succession plan with a world-class coach to take the squad forward. That's exactly what we need because we're at the very top of the game at the moment in women's football, and we need to stay there.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm glad you said that actually, because look, I've been vocal about my criticisms of Clearlake's management of the men's team, especially. But you know what? I must acknowledge that the commendable handling of the women's team. The signings. You've got Ramirez, you've got Nushkin, Macario, Bjorn, Lawrence, Hampton, Cannerid, so many others as well. They've all been resounding successes, and we've now secured a top tier replacement for the legendary Emma Hayes. And that just sort of reflects, for me, excellent decision making. This well-run approach does seem to extend beyond the women's team as well now. And I did look, whilst I was looking at the other development teams we've got, Chelsea's under-18s are leading the Southern Conference and the under-21s are positioned at 4th in PL2. So, if only we could do it for the men's team as well. Chris, how do you feel about this potential appointment? Still asterisks there, we haven't got it official, but
well, firstly, it makes me wonder whether it's the same people making the decisions.
I know, I thought that too,
because I don't know whether you can get it so wrong and then so right. Like
it's suspicious, isn't it? It's like,
yeah,
it makes me think that Emma Hayes is making a lot of the decisions, and I'm really worried now for next season.
No, but the appointment, I think it was the best option. I think going for a female coach after Emma Hayes as well, I think was a better call than going for a male coach, and going for someone who has won the trophy that we want and recently. I think is the sort of thing that gets the fans on board, because I mean, replacing Emma Hayes is going to be difficult, and getting the fans to back someone new is going to be hard, no matter who they are. But I think she has a lot of respect already within the Chelsea fan base for winning that Champions League with Leon. So, and that is the trophy that everyone wants.
Yeah, exactly.
If we don't get it this year, which we still could, but if we don't get it this year, I think that was probably the deciding factor in why we went for her, because she's done it before.
Yeah, I've seen the criticisms that have said, the Leon's dominating in a one-team league. You could then put that, if you're going to play that, that narrative, Barcelona then, is their manager any good? Because if you want to play that, look at how they dominate La Liga. But you look at, I think you have to look at the Champions League, don't you, instead of their own leagues.
Yeah.
What I would say about that as well is you could argue that with the WSL then.
It's certainly got more competitive recently, though.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, but only recently.
And we could still we could still win the league this year, which would be 5 in a row.
Yeah.
That doesn't scream competitive league to me. That screams one team dominating. So
Farmers League.
Until you watch these games week in, week out, you really don't know. And
no,
if you're not watching them every week, then I don't think you can have a really strong opinion on it, because no one knows the strength of these leagues unless you're an avid fan of them.
Yeah, I mean, look, Sonia's mindset's unparalleled. For me, embodies that spirit of a true winner, because look, dominantly on side, and she's going to lead Chelsea. That's a testament alone of strength and determination.
And has worked with Macario.
Correct.
Already. Yeah. And speaks good English.
Very
which
true.
I also think is really important.
Well, it's because obviously we've got, I can, because especially we know what the media are like. They will, I mean, look what they used to be like with, I think it was like Bielsa and Pochettino in his early days, whilst he was learning English. The media can be ruthless, unfairly so.
Exactly.
And on the topic of Bompastor, Sonia.
Bompastor! God damn it!
I'm so bad. Look, taking over from a legendary manager, that just adds to this challenge, And the WSL does present a deeper competition, and it does have maybe a significant learning curve, in because we've got managing the league, cup, and the Champions League, and you got players who are going to be going to national teams. There's going to be a lot there, but I cannot wait for the Bompastor era. I can't wait. So we move to the main content of this episode. There's no midweek action. Oh, we're not going to be there for a while, are we? Till the League Cup kicks off. So we are back. That was so depressing to say. Right. But we're back with another fantasy draft. And this episode, we're going to be drafting the greatest goals that we've seen live. So I put the rules out that they're simple. It's a snake draft as always. And the rule was, as long as we saw the goal in person or on a live TV broadcast, it could be selected. I think so. We've got to be honest here. We could lie and go, I saw that. No, you didn't. There was none of the 1992 Euro squad for Denmark that I seen live. No, didn't see any of that live. No,
I did.
No.
When I was minus.
I can't play that card. So I was nice today. I've just randomly made this order up in my head because I didn't do the roulette wheel. So I'm going to go Ollie, me, Chris, and then we revert back. So Ollie, who's your first pick? Come on.
My first pick that I saw live was our incredible team goal against Bolton.
Yes.
I really, really like that goal. It comes in from the left-hand side, then from Ballack, I think, then Deco somehow shoulders it or chests it up, then Lampard flicks it over for Drogba. It's such a nice goal. The commentary's crisp. It's a really, really nice goal. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you're a bit of a younger fan, you don't quite remember it, just Google your Chelsea Bolton team goal, and you are in for such a treat.
Yeah. Oh my word. The fact that you said that is genuinely, when we've done those remember when, There is a genuine bit in our Google Doc. I'm pretty sure I put it in about that goal being one of the topics we were going to do. That's a bloody good shout.
It is a good goal.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Sadly, I didn't see that one in person. It was on telly.
That doesn't matter. You saw it. That was live. That's all that matters.
Oh, yeah, of course. But to be there in person, man.
Yeah, I cannot disagree. Cannot disagree at all with that. So who did I get with the second pick here? Oh, I was so excited. Ruben Neves. Straight away, you're already on your edge of your seat. Derby. April 11th, 2018.
Yeah.
It was at the Molineux. Ruben Neves delivers a goal that ranks among the greatest I've ever witnessed. And the fact
that's an unbelievable goal.
Oh, the fact I saw this one live on the broadcast, I feel grateful for, because most of these goals, usually that like the world is, you often see through highlights or on Reddit or whatever because of, various reasons. And so basically, I'll give you a breakdown of it. The ball, it's cleared from a corner. It's found its way to Ruben Neves. He's in that usual pocket of space. And he has many options on it. He could take a touch. He could take a shot. But instead, he brings it down. Well, he tries to. That touch goes slightly behind him. Yet this imperfection worked beautifully in his favour. Neves strikes the ball with precision. It soars over all the players in the box, top corner. I mean, the moment for me was not just electrifying, and I was at the comfort of my sofa, but it was the gasp, the collective gasp, and the subsequent roar of celebration from the fans that just sort of echoed through my TV speakers. It's undoubtedly will be remembered as one of the finest in Wolves history. Perhaps even the greatest ever witnessed at that stadium, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was a great goal.
What more can you say?
It still blows my mind. It's still, because it's just it's one of them goals when you see him hit it, you just think that's going in. It's just one of them weird things. Beautiful. So, Chris, who have you got in third pick here? Who have you got?
So my first pick is I've got a goal I actually seen in the stadium. Oscar's goal against Juventus.
Oh, bloody hell.
You saw that live, you lucky bastard.
What a goal.
On his debut as well.
Yeah, and to do it against one of the best goalkeepers ever in Buffon, and to make Pirlo look a little bit silly with the touch as well. The touch, which I'll be honest with you, everyone around me in the stadium thought was a miscontrol when he first did it. There was that groan everyone does, and it's like, oh. Then it was like, hold on, what's he doing? And it's like, oh, what a hit that is. Yeah.
Do you think he did mean it?
No. No, I don't.
Bloody hell.
I honestly don't. But even if he didn't, I think he deserves incredible credit for adjusting so quickly to get such an accurate shot off. It was an unbelievable goal, and to do that on your debut against a team like that in the Champions League as well.
I'm just looking at it now. Ashley Cole, straight through the centre. Oscar just doubles back over Pirlo. Pirlo's lost. Oh, that is beautiful. Oh, it's beautiful. Go watch it, listeners. Yeah. Absolutely stunning.
Unreal.
Oh, man. Oh, wow. Right. Straight up again. Who have you got?
That's me again, is it?
It is. That's the rules of the snake draft.
Oh, I get it. This was one on the telly. And I think you'll like this one, Mikey. Packer against Man United, Champions League.
My man.
Ball over the top.
Yeah.
Gets there first, heads it past Ferdinand and another defender, I can't remember. They run into each other, goes through, slots it past the keeper. In the rain at Old Trafford. Yeah. What a goal.
It's just so stupidly good. It's just, that
the fact the defenders run into each other just made it.
Yeah. Oh, my word. Yeah. That is Ballon d'Or quality there. That's why he has a Ballon d'Or.
Such a good goal.
Oh my word. I'm so glad, Kaka. You're not listening, but if you are, I'm so glad you did not make that move to Manchester City. Because I remember that rumour. And I was, at the time, I was like, don't do it. Don't do it. If he goes to Real Madrid, it'll suck because he's just so iconic in red and black with Milan. But don't go to City. Don't do it. Yeah. Oh, what a player. Honestly, he's still. Hey, he was playing. Was it Sunday League in that like cage? And there's someone shouting, "Go,
Yeah,
Kakao on two." Oh, he's a
Yeah.
legend, man.
Couldn't
Abs-
believe that.
Legend.
Someone was upset. At Kaka for
Pass
holding
the ball. Oh my word!
ball.
Right, my pick is yes, Frank Lampard's second goal versus Villa. Now, this is my first ever game witnessing Chelsea play. It really was, and it was a spectacle at Villa Park. Lampard, he'd already scored that game with a left-footed shot in the 61st minute, so you could say that would have been the better goal. That was the goal that drew him level with Bobby Tamlin and the record. But for me, the record-breaking goal that etched itself into my memory forever, that is why it's there, because he orchestrates the move himself. He initiates a swift passing sequence that saw Hazard and Ashley Cole combine on that left-hand side. And without hesitation, as we know, Hazard whips the ball across the box. Lampard's in his trademark position, reminiscent of the Diablo role from, if you played Championship Manager back in the day. Impeccable timing. Lampard strikes the ball home, breaks the record for goal scoring, secures as well that game secured us Champions League football for the following season. And the reason it's there is because some people are going to go, that's not a great goal. That's fair. But for me, it was the sheer emotion of the moment. It was witnessing one of our greatest players etch his name in history, celebrating. Go on, Chris.
A great goal doesn't have to be just the finish. I think you're right.
Yeah,
the timing, the emotion, what it means, the game, the situation, all of that can make a great goal. It doesn't have to be a top corner from 40 yards.
And a perfect goal has all of them.
Yeah. Exactly.
It was just everything, the history, celebrating with the away fans. That elevated the goal to legendary status in my eyes. I mean, again, it may not rank among the top 100 goals in terms of sheer brilliance, but I think the significance and the heartfelt emotion attached to it just makes that an unforgettable milestone.
I think, with that goal, I remember seeing that goal, and when you watch the replay, Eden Hazard actually delays waiting for Lampard to get there because he wants to make Lampard score. That's how good Hazard was.
Yeah.
He could wait in a crowded penalty area, like, no, I want him to score. I'm not passing it to anyone else. I'll wait for him.
I miss him so much.
Then I'll put it on a plate for him. It was like when you watch someone play FIFA on amateur and they're just trying to get someone to score, like, or trying to get the keeper to score. So they just delay everything until he gets up there. That's how good Hazard was. Like, honestly, that he was unbelievable. But I remember that goal. It was a great day. That to turn it around as well.
I mean, for Hazard as well, just to touch on him, he is still for me one of the greatest Premier League players ever. I mean, there's people going to say that the argument of Hazard, Salah, forget all that, forget comparing. Just watch Hazard as Hazard, and oh my word,
Hazard's a footballer. Salah's a stat merchant. That's the difference.
Hey, if Liverpool fans are listening, they're not. But oh man, I mean, Hazard won our goal of the year as well for 3 years in a row. Was it 3 years in a no? 3 years in total, but I think it was 2 in a row. But bloody hell, what a player! Right, Ollie, who have you got?
Right, so my second goal. I think I'm the other end of the snake, aren't I? So
you are indeed.
You are.
But so the first one that I've got is one of the goals that I've actually seen live, one of the few because I don't get to watch the football very often. But I remember this goal really, really well. We were playing Stoke away, 2014, right? Okay, so right,
yeah.
And no one will remember this goal because we lost. We lost 3-2. Wow. So the ball from I think it's if I remember rightly, it's from a free kick, gets floated into the edge of the box, and it sort of bounces around a little bit and arrives on the edge of the box. And who is there in stride but Mr. Andre Schürrle to knock it past the keeper to make it? I think it was 2-2, 2-1, something like that at the time. Just a really, really nice goal the way he took it, and I thought that's actually the best goal I think I've seen in person. So I wanted to have it in the list.
Yeah, I actually do. I was also thinking of one. I think Hazard scored. It's not a Hazard show.
Yeah, the
But
left-footed one.
yeah. Was that the same
Yeah.
game? I don't know if that was the same game. I'm trying to find the highlights literally right now because I feel like that was the same game, but I
No,
don't know.
no, because I think when Hazard did that, we won. That might even have been Sunderland, he did that against.
Fucking hell. I mean, what a player. Oh, I've just seen the Schürrle goal. It's beautiful.
Yeah, to be fair, Schürrle, I think he was underrated.
He was some player.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he retired
Yeah.
obviously early and everything, which is just a shame, but yeah.
He was
what a
another
player.
one who I think we probably got rid of too early.
Yeah, where did we send him? Did we send him to Dortmund? Can't remember where we sent him. I feel like it
can't
was
remember.
Dortmund.
Yeah, I think it was Dortmund. Or it was something like Fulham.
No, Wolfsburg. We sent him to Wolfsburg.
Wolfsburg.
Yeah, and then he went to Dortmund. That was it. And then Fulham on loan. Ah,
Yeah, I remember him at Fulham.
bloody hell. Right, Ollie, who's your final goal?
Right, yeah. I just want to take into account everything we just said about great goals. Just being not necessarily being the greatest finisher. Just chuck that out the window for a second. Because I think the best goal I've ever seen in the moment was Ibrahimovic versus England. Zlatan's overhead kick. Obviously, Joe Hart's an absolute numpty for coming out as far as he does to head the ball anyway. But the wherewithal from Zlatan to then turn around and even to try it, the sheer arrogance to even attempt it is absolutely unreal. And just, I've never been so upset and so impressed at the same time.
I mean,
it's such a good goal.
To be fair, that day, Zlatan was head and shoulders above Joe Hart. He really was, wasn't he?
He actually was.
I couldn't resist again. I had to get it in. I had to. Right. Oh my word. I'm really, really. I can't believe all three haven't been picked. So I'm really happy with this, and I'm sure. I think we're going to get a full house of all our picks going to be not selected by the others. So that's the main thing here. I was hard pressed with my third choice because I have got a lot of honourable mentions, but that perhaps sees for a round 2 in the future. So this goal transcends mere brilliance for me. It's testament to sheer artistry. And after all the Peter Drury nonsense I've just said, what sets this apart is the remarkable feat of athleticism required. And it's Aliano Garnacho versus Everton of this season. Wow. I mean, he has to backtrack just to get within striking distance of the ball. And when he does, he unleashes that overhead shot. The technique is flawless. And I remember it like it was this season. I just do. I do. Look, I mean, precision, finesse. It's the kind of goal that leaves you in awe. And you damn well know that it is destined for that legendary status among the pantheon of the world's greatest goals. Because I promise you, not only does it deserve its place among the ranks of that pantheon, it's going to be one of those goals where they make it part of the Premier League intro for Sky Sports.
Ooh, that is a good shout.
It is one of them.
That's I remember seeing it and just being like, well, I don't react to goals of like non-Chelsea games that like that. And I was just like mind blown. Ridiculous.
The only problem I have with that goal is I absolutely fucking hate him.
Just as a person.
Yeah, it's just difficult, innit? Because he's a knob.
I know what you mean. It's like when I see Bruno Fernandes score a good goal, I'm like, doesn't count.
Oh man, I guess we've all got a player we dislike when they score. I mean, for me, it's well known. Phil Foden, he's doing very well, and when he if he beats out Cole Palmer for that, I don't know which one, young player or what, he's not going to. Palmer's not going to win. Yeah, he's not going to win Player of the Season. If Palmer did, that'd be outstanding. But if when he loses out to, I'll be so. I was so bloody annoyed. But hey, yeah, I've got honourable mentions, but I'm going to keep them for round 2 of the draft. So yeah. What have you got, Chris, as your final selection?
Well, like you, it was difficult this because I could have picked like 50, I reckon.
We'll have a round 2.
We're going to have to because Berth's got to get in on this as well.
But a bit like what I was saying earlier about it doesn't have to be an actually great goal to be a great goal. I've picked the only goal that has ever nearly made me cry.
Oh,
Fernando Torres at the Nou Camp.
oh,
The
Champions
emotion
League
in that goal
semi-final.
is palpable. And you know what? It says something about that goal that everyone feels that emotion, even though actually it didn't make the game any different. Like the result at the time. We were still going through on away goals, if I remember.
It was the nerves of that game. And you're right, it wasn't the goal that sent us there, but it was the goal.
The sheer relief.
Yeah, it was when you knew we definitely was going.
Yeah.
Like before that, they
were all over us in the
we was under so much pressure. Torres was my favourite player at the time. So to see him do that as well after such a season where he was being heavily criticised by the media and rival fans, and to see him score that goal.
Yeah.
And then the emotion in him and the team as well. Like, it was one of those, I've never felt more connected to the club than I did at that moment.
Yeah. And for people, media, pundits, that were like, Torres wasn't the same, confidence was gone. If his confidence was truly gone, he'd have missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't skip round Victor Valdez in his prime without
in the Nou Camp. This, this is no home game. Bloody good goal. Outstanding. And that's the thing. It's just saying that to you guys, to the listeners, you already can vision that goal already in your head. It's one of them.
Yep. And the celebration.
Oh, yes. Oh,
iconic celebration.
Oh, man. What a guy. What a player. What a game. What a season that was as well. What a season.
Yeah.
Oh, we do have some listener draft picks for their number one goal they've seen live. I'm sure that there's going to be more in the future from them guys and girls. Boucher selected Tim Cahill for Australia against the Netherlands in the 2014 World Cup.
Oh, yeah.
That's bloody good.
Great goal.
It was nearly in my selection. It was nearly until I saw he'd suggested it. I thought, nope, I won't do it, because that's bloody good, that goal. And Veb selected Robin van Persie for Arsenal against Charlton. And that is another bloody good goal.
Yeah, that is another good
Honestly.
goal.
I mean, to not even be in camera shot when the ball's played, and then he arrived from out of absolutely
It doesn't
nowhere.
even logically make sense. Every time I watch that goal, I'm like, how does he do that? What?
I must have seen that goal 100 times, and I still couldn't tell you how he did it.
Is it the same YouTube video that's very pixelated?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The quality is awful.
Yeah. I wish that there's a HD Premier League years version of that. There's got to be somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, they'll have all the
somewhere in the archive.
All the footage. I can't wait till all that, when we're like in our 70s and all of that becomes like public domain. You know,
that'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be bloody awesome. Right. We move to Lion of the Week. And
why'd you have to bring the vibe down?
Yeah, you know what? We've had a good show discussing goals we've seen that we really enjoyed, and now we have to ruin it.
Right, listeners, that's the end of another episode. Right, hey, look, we've got Monday Night Lights. We're up against Everton. We're up against Everton. Who are we choosing? We are at Everton as well, aren't we? Oh.
No, we're at home, aren't we?
Are we at home? But won't really make much difference, will it, for us?
No, because Everton have won like one game in 40. So you know what's happening here.
It's time for them to win again.
Make-A-Wish FC on its way.
Oh, hang on. They recently beat Burnley. We couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So that's
it bodes well, doesn't it?
This game has got draw written all over it.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh my
We
word.
fucking love a draw lately.
We're all really putting off who we want to pick.
I'm about to hit the wheel. I have to.
I don't.
Mikey,
I'm going to
spin the wheel first.
Who? This wheel might as well be the injury wheel. Who's getting an injury this week? Well, he's not playing. Oh, is he playing? I think he's playing.
You win then.
I've got Ben Chilwell. I don't think he's injured. Is he injured?
Is he? I don't know.
Let me check the Chelsea
He normally is.
He's partial team training, I think.
Oh. Hang on. Let me just pull the report up. I don't think he's injured. We've got Enzo. He's undergoing medical. Axel Disasi is undergoing a medical assessment. These are. Robert Sanchez is ill. Sterling ill. Colwill rehab program. Fafana, Reece James, Lavia, Nkunku, Leslie Nguchukwu, and Ben Chilwell's on it. He's in partial team training.
Right.
Oh, that's a risk.
Well done, Ollie.
Thank you.
Does that
Do you-
mean he
do you
plays
know
or
what?
does he not? I
As
don't
much as
know.
everyone gets pissy at the injury report, I do read it every time.
I feel like I have to spin the wheel again. But you have a decide what you're going with.
Man,
Oh, God.
I'm gonna go with Caicedo. Fuck it.
Okay.
I have no idea, man. Like I'm genuinely expecting nobody to turn up against him.
I've now got Thiago Silva, so I think he'll play. I don't know.
Yeah,
Let's see.
maybe.
Who did you pick, Ollie, before I got distracted by Thiago
Caicedo.
Silva's name? Caicedo, he should play. He's not going to get
Yeah.
injured in training the next 24, 40 hours, probably.
I hope so.
Chris, who have you got?
I worry picking someone because everyone I pick lately always plays shit.
Maybe pick someone
No.
who isn't going to play.
Probably
And then
shouldn't
if- Yeah.
pick that player then.
Or pick someone who plays shit all the time.
Yeah.
He's going to have that
So-
one-off game.
Yeah, I can't make them any worse.
You
Oh,
can't
man.
pick. You can't pick Enzo, Chris. He's injured.
No, that's a shame. we'll really miss him in there, controlling the game.
I'm not commenting. I'm not commenting.
Who should I go with? I will go with Mudryk. He might play, and if he does, he'll probably be shit. But he's normally shit, so it doesn't matter.
Bloody hell. Bloody hell. Oh, anyway, let's head to some Quaresma questions. I love this one, and I'm sure I'm going to piss so many people off in my answer. But Prashant has asked, for next season, which of these three options would you take? Take back Tuchel, take back Sarri, stick with Poch.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah. I love the question just for that. I loved it.
Fucking hell.
Good
Ooh.
question. I can't wait. I can't wait for mine. I'm such a douche. I'm right.
You know what?
Go on.
I will give my answer here.
Oh,
I would take back Sarri.
yes! Come on, that's what I said.
You see,
I said that.
I've thought about that.
You know why? I think he's the last Chelsea manager to actually implement a
Mhm.
completely different style of play to the one he took over.
Yes, and right. Despite this is exactly what I wrote out today. Despite not fully implementing his style during his tenure at the club, he showed gradual improvements as the season went on, and then at Lazio, he succeeded Simone Inzaghi, and yes, look that he made that team better year on year. I know this year the downfall has been wow. I feel for me that why is the downfall? Well, you got Napoli, they've had a fall off, and why have Lazio? For me, I think that can be attributed to the departure of literally their best player and their playmaker Milinkovic-Savic. I don't think they were
and
prepared for that.
they don't invest very much money.
No.
They've got a very aging team as well. Like
Yeah,
Immobile, who they rely on, is aging now.
Yeah.
Pedro, who was important for them last year, he must be about 50 now. So they have got a very old team as well, which so there is going to be a decline. So I don't think that's all on Sarri, to be honest.
No. And look, I know listeners are going to say, do you not remember 18, 19? No. The campaign may have been a bit boring, yes. But for me, I'll put it to this. I still have more faith in him than Pochettino to guide this team towards success. And that, for me, speaks volumes. I have more faith in him than Poch.
Sarri's teams controlled games. If
And they didn't get injured.
If we'd gone 2-0 up against Burnley under Sarri, it doesn't get back to 2-2.
I do agree
In
with
my
that.
opinion.
The only thing is that people forget Sarri had this weird time where like 99% of the time the football was fucking dull as anything.
Which
And
is
then-
fair.
And then within
Yeah.
a week, you get battered 6-0 by City and 4-0 by Bournemouth, and then you have like
Yeah.
a few really good games. And like I don't think our fan base could deal with that now. I think Tuchel is probably the safest bet if you wanted to do it. Of those
God.
three, it's
I'm
the,
just
I
going
can't-
through our list.
I only
now.
think he's the
Uh,
best of a bad bunch though, because like I don't think he would be the right manager for us now anyway. Like
You know, some people though, I see a lot of people on social media who you absolutely love Tuchel. He can't win the Bundesliga with Harry Kane scoring 38 goals. He can't win the league over there. That is like going That's like going and taking over Scotland when Rangers had been relegated and not winning the SPL.
Is there something to be said though for Leverkusen having one of the best seasons of all time?
Yeah, but Bayern haven't been
Yeah.
good.
But in
Well,
fairness,
but
he shouldn't have won the league last season.
But
No,
it was
I
something
keep
like
saying that. Yeah.
but I saw that Bayern or something. I saw something at the start of the season, specifically with Tuchel, that said Bayern had the 6th best start to a Bundesliga campaign ever. But
wow.
it was just unfortunate because Leverkusen have had the 3rd best ever in the same season.
I mean, last
you are
year,
right. I mean, Leverkusen have been unreal.
yeah.
But I get it with with the resources that Bayern have, even with Leverkusen doing that well, you would expect a manager like Tuchel to win it.
I still stand by last season. I mean, they won it on goal difference.
Yeah,
Because
did.
Dortmund shot
Dortmund bottled it.
Bayern. Yeah, look, Bayern did not win that Bundesliga. Dortmund lost it.
Yeah.
But
That's
Dortmund
very true.
only
You can't hide that.
Dortmund didn't need to do anything other than draw, and they didn't do it. Come on,
And they was at home.
Well, it's just getting easier. Right, I'm going to borrow something from another pod. And in front of me, I have the 10 most expensive Bowley Clearlake signings. And I want you to tell me how much you would actually pay for them in today's market. There's extra points. There's extra points for realism, but hold on. I know you two. You only get to say not sign him at all once. So you got to use that wisely. You get it once.
All right. No,
God's
I like that. I like that.
Chris is now going, shit, right. So we start with, you know where we're going, listeners. We'll start with the most expensive, according to this. Enzo Fernandez, who apparently cost 106.7 million. I mean, how much would you pay realistically in this market?
£6.
I don't think they would accept that. Just saying.
I'm going to go with 75 million.
I was looking at 60, 65 because you have to pay the World Cup tax.
That's why I think it's 75. I think it's inflation plus the World Cup tax.
He literally just came off being one of the best players at a winning World Cup. That's it. I mean, you're not going to get it.
I think the narrative about him is very different if you sign him for 75 million instead of 105.
Yeah.
Are you asking though? What would I pay, or what is he worth?
What would you have paid then? No way anyone could say 105.
If you were making the decision for the winning bid, Chris, what would you have picked?
I wouldn't have gone higher than. I mean, today's market is stupid where you're paying 50 million for a championship player. So I wouldn't have gone higher than 70.
Okay. The next one, you've got Caicedo at 100. As it stands, it's 100 million. It could increase, obviously.
I mean, that could be worse than Enzo.
For me, I still wouldn't. I mean, he was so good at Brighton, and they built around him and everything. I got to stick with how I felt at the time. I didn't want to see anything more than north of 60 again, but we did. So
I would have gone as high as 80 on Caicedo, I think.
Okay.
Wow. I wouldn't have gone higher than 50. Now, no, that seems really low, but he's not a match winner, and I don't think you should pay massive money for people who aren't going to win you matches.
Okay.
You know, you look at like what Man City paid for Rodri. It's an absolute fucking steal.
Yeah.
Normally, those sort of players are ones that you get on more bargain deals. I think it was another one where we just massively overpaid.
Right, this is going to be a fun one. Wesley Fofana was 70 million. This is where I'm playing.
Very expensive, wasn't it?
This is where I'm playing my not sign him at all, purely because he was unfortunately injury prone then, and to invest that much money is such a high risk. And you know what you know the high risk. It could be a high reward, but it's that high risk and that amount of money. I wouldn't have done it.
I think
That's fair.
I think given he had just come off the back of a really hefty injury, I wouldn't have gone higher than 50.
Okay.
See, I'm tempted to play my I wouldn't have signed him at all card as well.
I still would have signed him 100%.
But I don't know who else is on the list. So
I can share them if you want to know now.
No,
Yeah, go
no,
on.
no, no. I think it's more fun this way.
All right.
Oh.
All right. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna say because I was not happy with this deal to start with, mainly because he'd come off a really bad injury and hadn't really got any sort of good form back, and he'd only ever had one good season
Didn't
in
he
the league
play
anyway.
something like 8 games before, or like after he came back from injury
Yeah.
before we signed him? Something like that. It
Yeah.
wasn't many.
I'm gonna say I wouldn't have paid more than 40.
Okay. Okay. I mean, he was coming off a broken fibula, so it's slightly
He had a
but
bad
still a
injury, like which is
Yeah.
a shame for him, but
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, he's missed a lot of football, unfortunately.
I think when he comes back, people are going to be surprised. He'll be like a new signing.
Right, we said that
If
before.
if he comes back.
Right,
Yeah,
we've
okay.
got next up at 62 million, Mikhailo Mudryk. I'm going to just be quick, 40 million. I don't know why we outbid Arsenal. I think it was almost like a look what we can do sort of thing, but 40 million.
I'm glad I didn't use my card because this is the one that I would do. I wouldn't have signed him at all.
Which I can understand that.
We signed him because Arsenal wanted him.
It
We
felt
gave
that
no
way.
thought to this transfer whatsoever. Not how he was going to be used, not how he suits the style of play that we was doing. We signed a player who is built for counter-attack for a manager who played possession-based football. Made no sense. And we paid a ridiculous amount of money for him.
Yeah, I think
So I
that's
wouldn't have
very
signed him.
fair. Yeah. What about you, Ollie?
Probably not higher than 45.
Okay. Next up, Mark Cucurella at 60 million. I instantly thought that was ridiculous at the time. I would have probably paid 35 to 40 purely because that was the year that I predicted he'd be the signing of the season for Brighton. He turned out to be exactly that. We did need cover with Chilwell. Let's be realistic, considering, how injury prone he could have been. When we were starting to go into the 40, 50, I was like, what are we doing? I mean, I'm glad we didn't do this Colwill deal as part of it, but still, bloody hell.
See, this is where I would use my not have signed him at all. And
Okay.
that might sound harsh, and I don't hate Cucurella at all. I just think for the fee, it's absolutely absurd. Because, and the thing is, especially at the time, I know you said we needed cover for Chilwell. We have Maatsen and Hall. We have
that's
both
fair.
of them.
That is fair.
And arguably they're both better than Cucurella and Chilwell are now, and neither of them are going to be at the club anymore. So,
but he was coming off a very good season for Brighton, so it kind of wasn't
I
like
get
be.
it, and I know Man City were in for him, but I really wouldn't have signed him.
That's fair.
I think we just had a better pathway at the time for our young players, and we deliberately blocked it, and this is the result.
Chris,
as we was only signing him as a backup player, I know they always say as competition too. That means backup. You're signing him as I don't think you should ever pay more than half the value of your starter. So we paid about 60 million for Chilwell.
Okay.
So I wouldn't have paid more than 30.
Which is about what Man City were going to pay for
you should only pay half of what your starting player's worth.
No, that's fair. Next up is Christopher Nkunku at 53 million. I would have paid that because at the time it would have made sense.
This one also would have been
agree.
tempting for not buying him at all, a little bit because of his injuries and stuff. But
yeah, that's fair.
I think I would have signed him for exactly the same amount because at the time his stock was very, very high.
Yeah.
It just won the Golden Boot, hadn't he? It just won the Golden Boot, hadn't he? In the Bundesliga. So.
Yeah. Right. Next one. I could have played the card here, but I haven't. I've done it early. I've done it on Fofana. Romeo Lavia at 53 million.
Why did I use my card?
I would say 25 based on his potential and everything else. I feel that would have been comfortable. 53. That again kind of felt like we're going to just stick two fingers up to Liverpool.
I wouldn't have paid more than 30. You're
generous.
Yeah, and I'm taking into account inflation in the transfer market. To pay over that for a teenager who is at the time that we signed him a championship player is absolutely ridiculous. Yes, he's good. He was good at Southampton. I have no doubt about that, and he has got bags of potential. He'd just been relegated, so. Why are you
played really well against us.
But why are you paying premium prices for players in the second tier? He is a championship player. So no more than 30, and I think that's being generous.
Okay. I can't. Ollie, did you say a price? I've
No,
already forgot.
I
I'm so
hadn't.
sorry.
Chris makes a
Go
really
on.
compelling argument, but I personally actually think he was worth what we paid. I know that sounds mental because he hasn't played.
Wow.
But I really rate the kid.
Bloody hell.
I think he could be our best
Okay.
midfielder one day. I really do.
Okay.
And only because I rate
Low bar. That
well,
is.
do you know what?
Wow.
You know what? At the moment, I need something. All right, okay. I just need to hold on to something.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And so, I think I would. I thought he was worth what we paid, but at the time, I still think we might have paid a bit too much. Maybe. I would go on 40, 45.
Okay. Next up, Raheem Sterling at 47.5. Because I've got to look at how I was at the time. I thought that was an absolute steal because he was so good at City.
Yeah.
And I thought
I would have paid 55 for Sterling.
I
I think I would have gone. I was going as high as that.
Yeah.
I think.
This one is going to upset people because we are never. I can't see us saying the price that he cost. Cole Palmer, 40 million. Again, I refer to that time when I got on a plane from Dublin to come back to Birmingham, and I was like, Cole Palmer rumours. Why are we going for him? And then I landed, and he'd signed. So I don't get it. I never got it then. I'm so glad I didn't get it, and I wasn't in charge because he's an absolute icon already this season. I'd have said 30. I don't think I'd have gone above that. In today's market, I'd have gone at the time 30 million.
I want to say I was right about Cole Palmer. If I remember rightly, I was quite excited for the signing.
Fair play.
I mean, obviously, I never could have predicted him like doing bits this season in the way he has. But it's I rated him at the time, is what I'm getting at. So I would have said, about the same, about 40, 45 maybe.
Okay, Chris.
I'm like you, Marky. I thought he was a bit overpriced because we'd never seen him do this. What he's done this season. Yeah. I don't think anyone's seen him being this good for
nobody
us.
Could have seen that coming. How good he's been.
I know it.
No.
Talking to City,
I would have paid about 35.
Yeah, I mean, talking to City, let's be honest, look at how everyone criticised Man City for spending, was it like 50, 55 for De Bruyne when it happened?
Yeah.
And it made sense at the time. Out of context, it looks hilarious that they're saying that he's going to be a bust at 50. But at the time, you're like, what the hell are you doing? What's that about? But, things change. And finally, Axel Disasi at 38 million. I would have gone for the sweet spot of 25 million because he's from Ligue 1, as Chris would do. That's the lovely spot. I'd have done that.
I'd have paid about 30. I'd have paid about
28.
30.
Not nice, just precise. There we go, listeners. Let us know what you would have paid for some of them, or which one you would skip, which one you'd have avoided. That'd be interesting to see who picks what. You know what? We're gonna do it. Berth's not here because but we are going to play a bit of Lone Army. We are. Oh yeah. I'm going to pull up the good old spreadsheet to see who won last time. It was Chris. Chris, oh, hello.
Yes.
Hello.
I actually won one.
Hello.
The comeback is on.
He's doing a title charge.
Right. We have the category. It's Championship Playoff Final Losers.
Oh,
now we all know to be promoted to the Premier League, woo, it's one of the best experiences in football. It's the £500 billion game, they say. But can you name the teams that suffered the heartbreak of losing? And it's from 1993 onwards, obviously the Premier League. There are 24 teams. Can you name them? And we'll go to Chris, the defending the belt.
Derby.
Derby did indeed lose a final.
That was the one I was going to pick. Middlesbrough.
Yes.
That's a good one. Leicester?
Yes. I can't remember which one that was, though.
I do.
But they are.
I am just guessing here, by the way. So, just so we're all aware.
Wow.
Isn't there the one? Watford.
Yes, they had to have been there.
Yeah, they're in the Championship enough, so they should have done.
Mm-hmm.
Coventry?
Ooh.
Yes. I'm just looking on my little thing when they lost. Coventry lost.
They lost to Luton, didn't they?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
they did. Yeah,
Oh yeah, of course they did. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Reading.
Oh, good one.
They did indeed. They lost to Huddersfield Town.
Swansea.
Oh, that's a really good one.
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
I'm just thinking of teams who have been in the Championship
Yeah.
for ages.
I'm gonna go with Fulham.
Oh, good one.
Chris has held the belt.
Ball.
Oh my word.
Yes.
And if Ollie had been clever, he could have said Huddersfield Town, because as soon as I said that, I realised I should not have said that. But they definitely
Damn
lost
it.
one. Can you name any of the? I mean, some of them are
Blackpool,
surprising,
they're up
but
there?
others. less. Blackpool.
I was
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say them, and then I changed
West
my
Ham.
mind.
West Ham. Yes.
West Ham lost to Palace, I think, on a really bad one on a bank
Norwich?
holiday Monday.
Yes.
Leeds?
Yes, they're in there.
Cardiff,
Cardiff did indeed.
West Brom.
Yes.
Yeah,
Bloody
they've
hell.
been around it long enough. Notts Forest?
No.
Birmingham.
Oh.
No. I'll give you one. You got Villa. You got
I was going to say
Barnsley.
Villa.
You got Barnsley. I don't remember that. I mean, that must have been really early. I'm going to have 2000 to Ipswich Town.
Ipswich Town. Yeah.
But you got then Bolton, Brentford, Bristol City, Crystal Palace, Preston North End, Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday, and everyone's favourite team, Sunderland, who I feel like they've lost a lot of them.
Well, I feel like
Yeah.
I shit the bed early on that one, ladies and gentlemen.
But Sunderland lost it in 19... Well, straight away you're like, really? 1998? So I know fuck all. They've lost it once. Anyway, awkward. But Chris retains the belt, and that means he's in 2 on a row. He's got a streak
Don't
going.
call it a comeback.
Chris is now on 2 for the season. Oh, man. 2-4-6. Burf still leads. Burf's got a lovely cushion.
Only
He
for
really
4
has.
more weeks.
Oh, man. 4 more weeks. Oh, man. Right. Listeners, we are really at the end of another episode. Thank you for listening. Treat yourself well. We'll be back on Tuesday. We've got a Chelsea game against Everton. Yay. Oh, great. And, of course, the FA Cup semi-final against United. So, till then, that's going to be us signing off. You've been listening to At The Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At The Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.